Guys, when I first saw this, I really thought this was a joke. But apparently, this is Joe Biden's and the Democrats and basically Mitch McConnell's and Mitt Romney's way to stop the incoming inflation, even though there's already an inflation going on. Apparently, this is their plan. Their plan to stop, to get, to push this debt ceiling even higher, and to increase the taxes on the middle and low class more. Not this whole freaking tax to risk gimmick that they got going on, that they really trying to push on. You know, they freaking follow us, even though they'll believe anything that the freaking Democrats say. Because if you don't vote Democrat, then you are the biggest scumbag in the universe. Here's my thing. With this inflation and this with this inflation going on and all these taxes going up, they want to play it off as a $1 trillion coin, platinum coin plan is going to fix everything that's going on right now with all these increased taxes, this freaking inflation going, freaking the cost of living is going up, food is going up. There's a shortage on food. There's still a shortage on staff, on workplaces not be able to find staff because people still do not want to go back to work. They were I don't know if it was Joe Biden's. I don't know if it was Nancy Pelosi's. That freaking drunk idiot. I don't know whose plan it was to say this is a good idea to try to distract the American people, saying like, "Yo, let's bring up a $1 trillion platinum coin that could not prevent any inflation." They'll believe anything we'll say. But people with common sense or a high Q over room temperature, we know that this is just another distraction for the poor job that Joe Biden is doing right now to this country, especially when it comes to COVID, when it comes to government spending, restaurants not getting employers, supermarkets are, some of their shelves are not being filled up because they don't have the food, they don't have the appliances and to fill them. Chicken, beef, everything is going up under this administration right now, and they believe that apparently this what was the best option to do it. So guys, when I tell you that that $1 is not going to mean anything, that's what I mean. In the next couple of years or so, $1 is not going to mean anything. So if I was you guys, I wouldn't invest in like cryptocurrency and all that stuff. Try to invest in something cheap. Just let it sit for some time, and you don't have to worry about the government. Oh wait, never mind. Cause this is from before though. Because apparently anything good that happens with the freaking middle class or the low class when we try to get out of poverty and we try to get out from struggling, apparently the government freaking hates that. So I know this is from August, but I'm still reading to this day. The Senate infrastructure bill cracks down on crypto tax reporting, how it may affect investors. The Senate's $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill calls for increased cryptocurrency tax reporting to boost revenue. The heightened enforcement may bring in an estimated $28 billion over the next decade, according to the Joint Committee on Taxation. These new reporting guidelines may affect investors and companies that qualify as brokers, experts say. As U.S. senators hammer out the $1 trillion bipartisan federal infrastructure bill, like I said, this is in August. A provision in the measure seeks to raise funds for a crackdown on cryptocurrency tax reporting. The rule may require cryptocurrency brokers to report traders' information, including purchase and sale prices, transferred between brokers and transactions of more than $10,000 to the IRS. You see that right there. Anything that can help benefit the low class or the middle class, the government wants all that taken away. They want that taken away quick because they don't want you, they don't want me, they don't want the middle class and low class to actually get out of poverty and be successful. We don't want to depend on the government for a freaking handout like some of these progressives do. Anything that we do with our own effort, our own money that we put in, the government comes in and screws all that up. So I would say invest in crypto while you can, because crypto right now is skyrocketing because a lot of these people who are getting into crypto now know that a dollar is not going to mean much anymore, because you see what the government is doing, right? They basically throwing away all this money and not actually using it for anything except for some of these bought and paid for politicians' businesses, because they know what they're doing is completely asinine. How it's basically already destroyed the economy. So, and this right here, just taste the cake. Dems float $1 trillion platinum coin plan to inject $1 trillion into government's account without any impact on inflation. That's a freaking lie. Dems float $1 trillion coins as opportunity for Biden to solve the debt crisis. Y'all trying to solve the debt crisis, but then y'all trying to increase the debt. Make people make it make sense. For real, make it make sense. You want to solve the debt crisis, but then you want to also increase it so you can borrow more money, so we can get in more debt. See whatever happened to depending on ourselves and not other people. That's the thing. I don't get for real. We had the capability to do things ourselves. It's that the government has no faith in anybody, which is why they damaged the workforce. They end up damaging the farmlands. The government did that, not the regular people. The government did all that. So let's go on with this article. Democrats and their affiliated media organizations are floating a new way to allow Washington, D.C. to spend without without the arduous process of voting to expand the debt ceiling. The novel innovation is to print a coin worth $1 trillion and give it to the federal government. Quick question: how's this getting paid? Huh? How's this getting paid? Because I know damn well it ain't coming out the government's pocket. This is not coming out the government's pocket, people. You know how this is getting paid? With federal and state taxes. Meaning me and you who is watching in this video. Who is watching this video right now. My taxes and your taxes. This is how this is getting paid. The government is not paying for this. So, let's keep going. A plan being floated by increasingly prominent media outlets would have the U.S. Department of Treasury simply create a coin worth $1 trillion. Then have the U.S. government essentially deposit the coin into the Treasury, thus paying down $1 trillion worth of debt and allowing the government to continue operating until another $1 trillion is needed. At which point the government could ostensibly make another $1 trillion coin if taking a vote becomes inconvenient. I'm sorry. According to Axios, the scrappy new face of establishment web print journalism, the $1 trillion platinum coin should circumstances call could be created within hours of the Treasury Secretary's decision to do so. The article suggests that Janet Yellen, the former Federal Reserve official tapped by the Biden regime to run the Treasury, could quickly instruct the Mint director to take those steps, even before she decides to mint $1 trillion out of thin air. Quoting Philip Dial, the former director of the United States Mint, Axios explains that by merely minting a new coin worth $1 trillion, voila, we'd have bought ourselves the equivalent of $1 trillion increase in the debt limit without any impact of inflation. First of all, come on, guys, this is basic economics. If you just put more money into something, you damn right that the inflation is going to be coming. This is the basic stuff. You can't just throw money into something and just expect it to work all the time. Especially when it comes to government spending, and trying to pay back more money that you borrow from for foreign countries. This is basic stuff. Even for real, even if you're not a genius in like money and all that stuff, you would probably know that if you just create money out of thin air, that money is useless. It's useless. Like they truly believe that if they just magically print a $1 trillion platinum coin, it's gonna help out the debt that we're in right now. That coin is not gonna mean nothing because where the hell are they getting this money from? It makes no sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Let's keep going. Dial was the former director of the United States Mint between 1994 and 2000 during the Clinton administration. The Clinton administration? Are you serious? Those are the most crooked ass people ever to have been in the White House, ever to have been in government. From the Clintons to the Bidens, even to the Obamas, and the Bushes, because they're all establishment. They are all establishment. They don't care about who they're damaging. It's all about the money in their pockets. That's what it comes down to, the money in their pockets. Let's keep going. The idea, which is ostensibly being considered by top officials in the Biden regime as responsible monetary policy, if it is being promoted by publications like Axios, Business Insider, the New York Times, CNN, Bloomberg, AOL is still a thing. They're still alive. Yahoo News, The Week, MarketWatch, Vox, and more off left-wing websites, including some articles that cast Joe Biden as the hero who solves the debt crisis, particularly the $1 trillion coin idea drew scorn on social media. A tweet from the Columbia Bridge. Experts state that a $1 million coin will still be thin enough to be lost down a storm drain and light enough to be confused with other coins when in one's pockets, leading to all sorts of humorous situations. Bruh, the Colombian Bugle just straight burned their ass with that freaking tweet. Experts state that a $1 trillion coin will still be thin enough. Okay, all right, read that. Brrr. Haha, $1 trillion coin printer go. Brrr. Others questioned whether the Axios articles was meant to be a joke, while some had the audacity to suggest that inflating the currency by 1 trillion using the platinum coin would cause inflation. Quote, so now a loaf of bread would cost $80 since the US dollar would be a worthless currency, wrote one man. Which is why I'm saying, guys, it's best to invest in cryptocurrency, because cryptocurrency is going to be the one thing that saves people from poverty, from oppression, because the government can't give two shits because they are out of their damn minds if they really think that a platinum coin that costs $1 trillion is really gonna mean anything, and they just made that and they just got that money out thin air. Come on, people. Another compared it to the Weimar Republic, the socially liberal hyperinflation plagued German state that formed in the wake of the Second World War and ultimately gave way to Nazi Germany. One perplexed man compared the situation to a child's game. This sounds like a child making up rules in Monopoly, wrote one Twitter user. What the F are we doing here? It seems as though Axios, with its reputation for high-placed sources, struck an optimistic tone in its article published this morning, hinting that Yellen and the Biden administration could quietly begin the process of minting such a coin even while pretending it is not being considered. This is despite both Yellen striking down the idea and Jen Psaki rolling it on behalf of the White House. Okay, first of all, Jen Psaki is the biggest liar ever, especially when it comes to the Biden administration. So, guys, while they are doing this, there's still inflation going on, and then there's still a shortage of supplies across the U.S. And they taking it as a joke to print out a $1 trillion platinum coin. Let's read this article from Quartz. U.S. restaurants are facing shortages on everything from olive oil to chicken wings. U.S. restaurants are in the midst of ingredient shortage. 75% of restaurants were forced to change menu items due to supply chain issues. According to the recent National Restaurant Association survey, the association polled 4,000 U.S. restaurants between September 7th and September 15th. David Nayfeld, the chef and owner of Che Fico in San Francisco, has been adjusting his menu as certain types of olive oil or cheese have been difficult to procure. That comes even when many of the items are locally sourced, he adds. The supply chain issue seems to be so deep rooted in every spectrum of what we're doing, says Nayfeld. Why are restaurants tweaking their menu? The need to swap out or let go of items on menus is related to the pandemic and stems from labor shortages at processing plants, higher transportation costs, and higher food costs. Overall, prices for items like poultry, beef, eggs, and fish have been on the rise in the U.S. So some restaurants are turning to cheaper ingredients to soften the need of passing higher costs to customers. The supply chain issues. So basically, what they're saying is that they are using lesser quality items in order to not increase the prices on the customers, because then that would send the customers away if we just increase the prices every time. Okay, let's keep going. The supply chain issues have forced some operators to get creative with what they have on hand. For instance, grilling foods typically served raw or fermenting ingredients to extend the shelf life. According to Elizabeth Freya, director of menu research and insights at Technomic, a food service management consulting company, quote, because of supply chain's validity, nimbleness will be table stakes. With operators ready to implement menu swaps that take advantage of more readily available and economic ingredients, quote, end quote. She wrote in the email. Big chains have also been tweaking their menus throughout the pandemic. Over the summer, Wingstop, a chicken wing restaurant chain, encouraged people to order chicken thighs as prices for chicken wings rose. Meanwhile, McDonald's in the UK grappled with a shortage of milkshakes. Some restaurants are pushing Congress to replenish the Restaurant Revitalization Fund, part of the American Rescue Plan, to provide grants for restaurants during the pandemic. The $28.6 billion federal relief fund ran out in June, fulfilling fewer than a third of the grants received. The sourcing challenges come on top of other problems restaurants have faced during the pandemic, including finding and retaining workers or turning to delivery to stay afloat. The shortages go beyond ingredients and include non-food items like plates and stemware, says Nayfield. All of a sudden, restaurants don't have enough glasses to serve water to guests, he says. So, guys, again, if things are better under Biden, I'm not seeing it because you would not see stories like this on CNN. And if you do see it on CNN, it's probably for a short segment because they want to portray Biden as this guy who is doing a way better job than Trump. And I don't see it. And you know why it's bad? It's because Biden's approval rating just keeps on sinking. Okay, I think right now it's at 30% as of today. Amid a boss withdrawal from Afghanistan, persistent inflation, an unprecedented border crisis, a prolonged pandemic, congressional gridlock, and the specter of debt default, President Biden has received the lowest job performance ratings of his presidency. In Quinnipiac's latest national poll, released Wednesday, which is today, 38% of respondents approved of Biden's performance, while 53% disapproved. A record low for his presidency and a decrease from 3 years ago when 42% approved of his performance. I don't see how anybody could approve of his performance right now, especially the whole Afghanistan thing. The new data brings Biden's average approval rating across multiple polls down to a record low 44.6%, according to Real Clear Politics. Republicans are overwhelmingly dissatisfied with Biden's conduct as president. 94% of GOP respondents to the Quinnipiac poll disapprove of his performance. A majority of independents, 60%, also disapprove of Biden's work. 80% of Democrats are content with Biden's management of the country, while 10% are not. This is this is how you know Biden is losing right now at a tremendous rate because because here's the thing, 80% of if you have 80% of Democrats who are only with you, that means you are really screwing up right now. And 10% are not with you. I don't know about that other 10% that apparently is probably in between. Here's the thing: Joe Biden can have his followers all he wants. The Democrats, he can have them all at once. He can have the sheep all he wants. But if the independents are the ones saying like, "Yo, we screwed up with this vote. We should have voted for Trump instead." That's how you know that people are regretting their vote because Biden hasn't had a plan with the border. He has not had a plan with the food shortages, with gas prices. Even with this whole pandemic, the deaths are still going up. Right now, the CDC guideline, I'm pretty sure. So the death toll for the pandemic, which is now at over 700,000. Guys, if Joe Biden has a plan, I'm not seeing it. For real, I'm not seeing it. He said he had a plan to stop this pandemic when he was going against Trump. All of a sudden he gets in office. He doesn't have one. He just keeps telling people to get vaccinated. Even though over 75% of people in the United States are vaccinated. But apparently he wants to put all these government mandates in, and they'll get him nowhere except I'm gonna just keep it right there because YouTube is going to end up suspending my account again because I'm hitting them with facts that they don't like. If only I was bigger, people. I really wish I was bigger than what I am right now because if YouTube is so scared to go after the little guys, you know how where they are politically. You know how authoritarian they are. They are literally the freaking Nazis. That's what they are. They're the freaking Nazis. But people, it's not getting better under the Biden administration. It's not. Some people still want to believe that Biden has a plan to stop this whole thing, but truth be told, he doesn't. I'm pretty sure he's letting this economy get bad, stay bad, and just get worse and worse on purpose. Which is why I say, people, it's time to start investing in crypto. Start investing in cryptocurrency because even if for me, I would go at the cheap stuff, not the big stuff. People want to go after Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is too expensive for some people. Even for like a little smidge, it's like a couple $100, and people don't have that. So if I was y'all, I'm investing in crypto right now as we speak. So I would invest in the cheap stuff at first, stuff that hasn't reached like $1 yet. I would start investing in that and just let it sit overnight, or just let it sit for a while, because the value of $1 is not going to mean anything in the next couple of years. It's not, which is why cryptocurrency is getting the recognition right now as we speak. But guys, that's all I got for this video, guys. You guys let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section below. If you guys like what I'm saying, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my Rumble, subscribe to my Odyssey. I will see y'all next one. Peace.